Hey guys and girls, Andrew again. Welcome back to the spare room. I'm outside in the yard. It's a really nice day. There's a storm coming probably, but it's pretty nice out here. It's been pretty warm. I've been messing with this, which is Beyer Peacock cylinder block, which is a bit of a mess. Right? These studs are all bent and ugly, and the reason being is that they're all very, very soft. There's one that we managed to get out, but it's pretty mangled. That's a 5/8 one, and it's also got a nasty bend in it, and they all have, because they're soft, and most of them just broke off. The other big design flaw with this over 150 years or whatever, 140 years, is that all these holes go all the way through. So my finger behind the hole. And this one and this one go into the steam jacket here, or into the exhaust chamber, as do these two, which so you can actually see it. This one and this one was broken off when I got the engine. It's going to need drilling out. This one needs tapping. I think this one might actually be the only blind one, which is why it's come out. This one goes right through. This one here goes right through too, which makes it almost impossible to come out. And this one here goes right through into here. And up in the back of that chamber, that one goes through there too. So you can't get to the other side of any of them. Just got to get them out. These ones come all the way through, and they were fairly well preserved on the other side, and give them a bit of a clean up, and they come out pretty easy. This one here goes right through. You come out with some reluctance. This one busted off. This one looked like it was about to break off, and these two had no hope of budging. They were just bending round. So I already busted this one. What I've done is cut them off and ground them flat. Well, cleaned it up, and I've drilled these out, waiting on the battery drill to charge up again, because we're dependent on modern power tools, etc. I'm going to drill these out to probably 3/8, 7/16, something like that. 3/8 probably. 7/16 these top ones, and this one to 3/8, and this one. Get them red hot again, because they'll be easy to get hot if we've only got the shell of the thread in there. Cool them off, quench them. Run a bit of WD-40 down beside them and put easy out in them and see if I can move them. If I can't, and start untwisting the easy out, we're going to get in there with a Dremel and cut through one side of the thread and hit them with a cold chisel till they come loose and screw them out. That's the messing around way to do it. I hope it doesn't come to that, but it probably will. So it's New Year's Day. I thought I'd get in and have a bit of a go at this. It is a mess. This cover's still very much cemented on here, around so you can actually see it. It's a bit worn, but honestly it doesn't do much. All it does is hold the packing in, so it doesn't really have to be a whole lot better than that. So gland's alright, shaft's alright. I'm guessing this is wet, because I filled this chamber here up with WD-40 and it's going somewhere. No idea where. Don't think it's evaporated in the last half hour. It's going somewhere, so that's a good sign, I guess. This, I believe, is about 1/2 inch. It's got a 1/2 inch lip that goes down into the cylinder inside, which makes it real fun to get out, because this forged yoke and shaft comes through and sticks out this side of the piston. I believe this to be a 2-piece piston. Probably not a difficult thing to remake another one if we've got to. I'd rather not. It's pretty pitted though. I'd like to do, and what I'm going to do I think, is make a plate to go on here, bolts on the 6 holes, or 6 1/2 inch bolts, nice and tight. and a 24mm nut and a piece of all thread I've got there. So 24mm nut welded pretty decent in the middle with a hole in it, and then a bit of all thread with a nut welded on it, or a 24mm bolt. I'm going to put a bit of jack and force on that and see if this should theoretically, without a whole lot of effort, depending on how close the hole is in that back cover, this should push out according to the drawing. And then we should just have the two halves of the piston and the ring in here, and the cover. Now if we can get that to push out, the next project will be to put a couple of nuts on this, right, after we've got this out. I'll make a plate to go on this, probably more like a piece of flat bar across here with a couple of holes in it we can do up a couple of nuts on, and push against these two studs, and hopefully we can move this plate then, or this cover. I don't know how good that's going to be. I can't just screw these studs out, because while most of them would probably come out, to be honest, because they're the same as the top ones, the issue is that they've got teardrop shape. See, they're teardrop shaped studs in there, so they don't turn in the cover. The Victorians, huh? They had it sorted. So, without abusing it too much, I guess this weekend's job, and we'll get some pictures and photos and things and get this uploaded, is to get these studs back threaded to size. And that'll be a pretty good start on this particular casting on this cylinder. Look, worst case scenario, we get another one cast, but I think it'll be all right. It's going to need a liner in it, as far as I know, because this is pretty pitted. I'll just turn that over. There we go. So these ports here are, I think the technical term for that we use at work is foo bar. I don't know what that means, Google it. But this port and this port here is pretty corroded, and I don't think it's going to clean up. So I'd like to see a sleeve in that, and I believe that the other end's probably going to be the same or worse, and whatever is inside here between the piston and the cover is probably not helping anything. So hopefully we can jack that rod out, and then jack the bottom cover off, and then probably we can give everything a good clean up and start thinking about tapping the cylinder cover, the piston out. And if we got that out, we could re-sleeve it and start thinking about starting again. Big job though. Anyway, not going to see a lot of updates on this, but I thought, well, we'll get in and we'll make a start. I'll get some more footage tomorrow, see what we get done, upload this, and we'll see how it looks. At least then you've got an update. So a few hours later, and it's like the series, it's like the Monty Python lifeboat sketch here, coming in inside and outside the house.
Oh, it's terrible up on deck.
Up on deck?
Yeah, on deck. It's diabolical weather.
What deck, dear?
The deck.
There's a storm coming again, but it's pretty blustery and pretty miserable out here. But of the 11 holes that I was going to get out, I got 9 of them out on 11 studs. So I've got one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. This one here needs to be done in the mill. I think I'll set this up in the mill and do it properly. Can't stuff this one up because there's not enough meat in here to actually put a boss or re-sleeve it or anything. So we've got to fix that, especially if we bore this out and put a sleeve in here. There's not a lot of meat in that, so we'll get that one right. We don't need it for now. These 4 are out. This thread's a bit ordinary, and what we might do is when we set this up, and I'm probably going to bore this, what, 5mm deep, something like that, put a bronze piece in here, out here square, with three plates, 3 slots in it already, and 4 decent big screws in it, and face it all off afterwards, just so we've got a decent port face here for the valve, because this is a bit ordinary, a little bit worn out. I'm not sure whether it should be all the way out here, and I feel like it probably should, because I believe this valve sort of has, I think it travels sort of that far, so it should travel over onto here. I haven't really looked at the drawing or thought about it, or even measured the offset on the eccentric yet, so that's still all theoretical. These holes are out, these studs are out, they're all busted off, they're all pretty ugly. These studs, being wrought iron or something, are fairly ordinary. This is the only one I got out that was half straight, and it's not even, it's got a bend in it. This is a good thread, this one's a bit wobbly. So when we set this up, we're probably going to bore this and tap it 3/4 and put a cast iron piece in it and a couple of Scotch keys, tap it out 5/8 again, do a decent job with it, set it up in the DRO and get it in the right spot, and make a good job of that one, because that's fairly ugly, to be honest. This is in the back of the steam port too, so it wants to be good, because we'll have a leak through there. So we'll do that. Still haven't, this is the other ones that we were going to do. This one's clean and out. This one here, we can't really get to it. And I can't, there goes the rain. Sorry about that. I can't really stand this up on its end or bolt it against something, so that I can lean against that and drill it, and expect to get somewhere near on centre and get that piece out, so that we've got 2 holes. So at this point, we're going to leave that one. I've made a plate to go on here, and I'm going to set it up with a thread on here, a threaded bar, a 24mm bolt. We're going to try and push this out a bit. I'm not as confident as I could be, and the plate's only half made. It's actually bolted up on here. I'm going to go and get some bolts, and we'll see how these look, make sure it all lines up. And with this sort of weather, I'm probably going to call this a night. I've been, a few hours on this today and a few hours on it yesterday, but I thought you might appreciate an update. Let's have a look at this plate and see how it looks. So this is 10mm plate. Which, by some crazy coincidence actually fits somewhere near here. This one's a fraction tight, but it could be the hole too. Yeah, it's just a bit of dirt in the hole, I think. Do a tap through it. Right, at some point, and it might be this weekend, I'm going to drill a 24mm hole, bore a 24mm hole in the middle of this, and weld a 24 nut I've got there, put a thread in it, make a bolt with a nut on it, weld it on as well, and screw that through there, and we'll use that as a pusher plate. So that's what I've done. Some progress, starting to look all right. A lot of work in that. I'm not convinced that this will just pop out of here. I would like to think, because if we fill this up with WD-40 in the back of the piston here, it's going somewhere, and the most likely place is out this rod here. So I'm suspicious that if we can free it out of the piston, we can at least move it a little bit. We might get down there with a die grinder and clean the end of it up so that it goes out the hole. And if we could get this yoke and piston rod out of here, I'd be very, very happy, because that means that we can make a plate for these two studs, gland studs here, and we can push on them and we can drop this cover off too with a bit of heat, probably using the same technique. So I'd be very happy with that. But we've got an assortment of old studs and things. Probably tomorrow's job will be to get in, I might get in and actually make a stack of studs for this, or I'll make a start on them, cut them all to length and machine the threads on them, have a go at starting on the threads without actually putting the triangles on them or anything. So anyway, enough dribbling about that. I really appreciate you all tuning in, having a bit of a look. The moral support's amazing. I'm getting there, I think. I'm pleased this plate fits, because I measured that up and drilled the holes a few months ago actually. But there we go. We might actually have some progress on this if we can get it apart. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll have another look at the weather out here that I'm working in. It's pretty miserable. And hopefully it finds up tonight and we can do actually work tomorrow. I've got to go to get some steel and stuff anyway. We'll see how we go. Be kind to each other, and I'm out.